In 1113 BC, King Wu Yi of the Shang dynasty was an arrogant ruler. Under his reign, the people suffered immensely, living in extreme poverty and hardship. The people's complaints fell on deaf ears. Wu Yi's palace was grand and imposing, surrounded by towering traditional Chinese buildings. He cared nothing for the suffering of his people, instead, spending his days indulging in entertainment. One day, Wu Yi came up with the idea to challenge the wooden god to a game of chess. He ordered a fearful official to play on behalf of the wooden figure. Out of fear for Wu Yi, the official delib. Triumphant, Wu Yi declared that he had defeated the god. He mocked the wooden figure and began to beat it with his scepter. The official and bystanders watched in silence, too afraid to make a sound. Wu Yi, growing more audacious, ordered the craftsman to make a leather bag filled with animal blood, which was hung from a tree. He personally drew his bow and shot at the bag, calling it shooting tea. Wu Yi's actions deeply unsettled the people. They whispered among themselves, believing that the king's defiance of the heavens would surely bring disaster. Even the shamans warned him repeatedly, too. In the 35th year of Wu Yi's reign, he decided to go hunting between the Yellow and Wei rivers, one of his favorite pastimes. The sky was overcast and thunder rumbled, but Wu Yi paid no heed and insi. As he arrived in the forests by the river, the sky grew even darker, with constant thunder and lightning flashing like serpents across the sky. Undeterred, Wu Yi pressed on with his hunt, chasing aft. As he chased a large deer, a deafening clap of thunder erupted, and lightning illuminated the entire forest. Wu Yi stopped for a moment, startled, but soon laughed it off, continuing to dismiss the deed. Suddenly, a more violent bolt of lightning struck directly at Wu Yi's head. He collapsed to the ground instantly, blood pouring from his mouth, as his terrified attendants fled in panic. After Wu Yi fell, the entire forest fell silent. Lightning continued to dance across the sky, and thunder roared like crashing waves. A few brave attendants ran over to check on him, only to find Teach. News of Wu Yi's death quickly spread back to the palace. Both officials and commoners were in shock. Many whispered among themselves, saying it was divine retribution for Wu Yi's blasphemy. The sham. The common people were immensely relieved, believing this to be a clear sign of divine justice, proof that evil was punished. Those who had suffered under Wu Yi's oppressive rule now felt a glimmer of. However, within the palace, the nobles descended into chaos. With the sudden death of the king, the political landscape became extremely unstable. Several ministers tried to take control of the Saitu. The shamans attempted to calm the chaos, proclaiming that Wu Yi's death was due to his disrespect for the gods, and that the next ruler must be devout to ensure peace and prosperity. However, many know. After this, the power struggles within the palace grew more intense, and both domestic and international situations started to spiral out of control. Although the people rejoiced over the death of Th, Wu Yi's death became an eternal lesson, a reminder to future rulers not to take the will of the heavens lightly. Many years later, this story continued to be passed down, serving as a warning about Th. As time passed, Wu Yi's name became synonymous with tyranny in the annals of history. His arrogant defiance of the divine will ultimately lead to his downfall, reminding people of the cold but just now Future kings no longer dared to openly defy the will of the heavens. No matter how authoritarian they were, a small part of them always held a sense of reverence for the gods. The story of Divine Re, the belief that the mandate of heaven must not be violated, became a universal truth for the Shang dynasty and all future emperors. Wu Yi's story would forever serve as a reminder to any king who dare